So the prices just came out for the month of May from the Toronto Real Estate Board, and in this video we're going to focus just on Mississauga. So let's get started. Let's not waste any time. And I am a real estate agent, so if you guys need any help, realtorvic.ca is where you can reach me. Okay, that's the end of the sales pitch. So a few things we're going to be looking at. I know everybody wants to know prices, and obviously that's the most important. But if you guys want to know like how the real estate market is like day to day, get a real pulse for the market. There's a few other things that you guys should pay attention to because I think it's going to be really helpful if you guys are deciding whether to sell now or wait or buy now or wait. Okay, so this is some of the stuff we're going to be looking at, like cancellations, average prices, how long things are sitting on the market for, and how many listings are still selling over asking, and how many months of inventory do we have right now in Mississauga. Okay, so and we're going to cover pretty much every single type of house you can imagine, and hopefully you're in there if you guys live in Mississauga or thinking of buying there. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to look at number of sales in the beginning, and I want you guys to I want you to pay attention to the peak of the market, which was February, I think. And some people say like, February, beginning of March. And as you all remember, like we had the rate hike in March and then in April, and we just had one a few days ago when it went up by 0.5. So we're starting to see the effect that the first two rate hikes have had so far on the market. Okay, February had 854 homes sold in Mississauga, and it jumped over to 1,000. Now this is nothing unusual because spring is always the busiest time of the year, like March, April, May are usually the busiest times of the year, and winter is always the slowest time because snow, Christmas, and all that kind of stuff. So this is fine. That looks like to be it's on track. But look what happened when the rates came in and the immediate effect it had. 720 sales in April. Usually, if this was around 1,000, this would probably be around 1,300 or so. Same in May, but so far May has been the slowest month. Well, January, but January is understandably slow. But aside from that, May has been the slowest month this year, like the second slowest, I should say. Now, another important thing to remember, which generally the public doesn't have access to, these stats, is days on market. Like not what is currently on the market and how long they've been sitting on the market for, but the ones that sold already. How long did they take to sell? As you can see, the same thing here, like January, February was very low because everything was like pretty much flying off the shelves, and went up a little bit in March, but when the rate hikes impact started to kick in, it went like almost doubled from March to 155, and now we're up to like 207. That's how many listings took longer than 2 weeks to sell in the month of May. And I always say this, that in a normal market, that's nothing unusual. It's supposed to take 3 to 4 weeks to sell. But I like to bring this up because of the crazy market that we've had for the past couple of years. I think it's important to see this number because this number, as you can see, was very low in the winter time. So number of sales is down, and how long they're taking to sell is up. And another stat that I think is important to know is canceled listings. Now, I've said this many times before in other videos, like the reason listings get canceled is either the sellers wanted a certain price, they tried it for a few weeks, and they realized, you know what, I don't think I'm going to get that price, so I'm just going to take it off the market. Maybe we'll try another, like in 6 months or 1 year or so. So that's one possibility, they just didn't get the price. Second possibility is that they were not getting the price, so they decided to cancel the listing and relist it at a lower price. Now, I'm not knocking the technique, but I do know that does happen. So those are usually the two reasons why a listing gets canceled. And same thing here, like nothing was getting canceled in January because there was no reason to cancel it. Everything was selling. And it has been steadily going up. Went up in February, went up even more in March, more than tripled in April, and compared to January, like it's almost like 7 times up in May. So I think these three stats are very important if you guys want to get like a real day-to-day pulse of the market, not just prices. Number of sales is down, and how long things are taking to sell is up, and canceled listings is way up compared to the peak of the market. So those three stats I want to bring to your attention before we get into pricing. Now, pricing, obviously, now keep in mind these are average prices. I will probably post like median prices later on, but right now I'm just focusing on average prices. And so for detached homes, like they were almost hitting the $2 million mark in Mississauga. And now it's down to 1.67, which is down just a little less than $300,000. That's a big drop only in a matter of a few months. And for detached homes, it peaked in January, went down a bit in February, but it was still a strong market. January, February was, I would say, the peak of the market. Semis in Mississauga. So semi-detached homes peaked in February, but just to keep everything consistent, I'm comparing everything to January. So if you compare from January to May, they're down about $130,000. That's for semi-detached homes in Mississauga. Freehold townhouses. They also peaked in February, but like I said before, just to keep things consistent, we're going to use January as the example. January was 1.2 around there, and now it's just a little bit over $1 million, which is down $155,000. That's for freehold townhouses and condo townhouses. And also, same thing, peaked in February, but we're comparing to January as well. If you compare from January to May, it's down about $60,000, and that's for condo townhouses. Keep in mind these are average prices. Condo buildings, Mississauga is huge for condos. As you guys all know, lots of sales for condos. So they are hurting, but not anywhere close to like detached homes, which are down over $200,000. Condos are also down, but if you compare to January, not that bad, only $24,000 or so. So condos are not doing too bad. I wouldn't say you're going to be if you're thinking of buying a condo in Mississauga, I don't think you're going to be competing with like 20, 30 offers, but they're still not doing too bad. They're still holding well. Now, another interesting stat I want to bring it up was how many listings are still selling over asking. If you compare the peak of the market, look at this, like almost 9 out of 10 listings, and this one's a little bit over 9 out of 10 listings were selling over asking, which meant that you could pretty much put anything on the market, it would sell over asking with probably like 10 to 20 offers. I remember being on both sides, on the seller side and on the buying side. Like it was insane. So 9 out of 10 listings were selling over asking. Now it's down to 48%. It's still pretty good if you're a seller, like chances are 50-50 you're going to get over asking price. But it's nothing like the winter before. It's almost down like 40% compared to that. Now, two disclosures regarding this stat. Number one is the obvious one. If you price anything low enough, you will get multiple offers on it. So I'm not knocking the technique, but I do know that does happen. You just price anything low enough, you will get, 5, 10 offers on it. So disclosure number one. Number two is that this just means sold over asking. It could be $500 over asking, or it could be $300,000 over asking. Now, if you were to take my opinion, I can almost guarantee it's not $300,000 over asking anymore. In the winter, probably. That was probably happening, and more than likely that was the case. But now it just means sold over asking. It doesn't mean like $200,000, $300,000, $4,000 over asking. It could be $1,000 over asking. So a bit of a disclosure on that one. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Okay, so that's sold over asking. A couple more things I want to cover before I wrap this up. SNLR and how many months of inventory do we have? SNLR just means like sales to new listings ratio. It just means like how many are coming in, how many are selling, and the number between that. So now I've said this before, this is not like a scientific stat. It's more of a guideline that the industry uses, that if it's under 40%, that means you are in a buyer's market. If it's between 40 to 60, you are in a balanced market. If the number happens to be over 60%, you are in a seller's market. Now, this will be interesting. I pulled this straight from the Toronto Real Estate Board. And what I've done is I've pulled up January 2022 and May 2022. So that's the latest stats I have. Okay, so this is every city. I don't know if you guys want to screenshot this and go through this later on by yourself. But right now we're just focusing on Mississauga for this video. And if you look here, that's the number we're looking at, SNLR. So in Mississauga, and this is January, the number was 76%. So that means like over 60%. That means like very deep in a seller's market, 76%. That number has gone down to 67.6. It's still high, but it kind of shows you which way the market's going. It definitely, if you are a seller, you should keep note of this because you want to know, okay, in 5 months, it dropped from 76 to 67. What's it going to look like in another 2 months or another 4 months? So if it's going to keep going lower, maybe it's better to sell now versus wait 2-3 months to see if the market recovers. If you guys want my opinion, I don't see the market recovering. I don't see it going back to the winter times. So I don't like, doing sales pitches because anything I say here can seem like a sales pitch. But if you're thinking of selling and all you have to do is sell, you've already bought before, and you're waiting to see if it should sell now or maybe in 2-3 months, probably better idea to sell now because this is just the effects of the rate hikes from March and April. The other one that just went up in June, we still won't see the effects of that for a month or so. So it's probably going to be a slow summer and probably a slow fall as well. So I think that's all the stuff I wanted to show you guys. Like I said before, I am in real estate. I know I bring some bad news, but I think it's better to know upfront what you're getting into. I've said this in other videos as well. I don't think it's a good idea to sugarcoat stuff in this market because I would just probably be setting you guys up for disappointment later on. So I'm not saying you have to hire me, but I'm not going to stop you if you want to hire me. Anyways, realtorvic.ca is where you can reach me, and I think that's about it. Thanks. See you.